Fenrys tries to stop him, but it's no use, as Fleo uses a spell called Meteoric Leap to launch himself into the sky. Fleo surprises himself with how skillful that was, and uses another skill to defend himself. Fenrys shows that she is skillful herself, as she changes location to escape Fleo's whirlwind, but Fleo uses a gravitational spell to stop her from moving. Fenrys is stunned at how powerful he is, and Fleo desperately searches through all his spells to find one that will restrain her. His system recommends to use of subjugation magic. It enslaves his target, allowing Fleo to control their thoughts and actions. Fleo refuses to use magic like that, but time is running out as Fenrys is about to break free. Fenrys keeps trying to use spells, but the Fleo's system keeps negating them. It is only a matter of time before Fenrys breaks loose, so the system once again recommends that Fleo should use subjugation magic. It keeps telling him to do it, but Fleo keeps refusing, because Fleo just came to this world and he doesn't want to bring that kind of corruption from his previous world. Just then Fenrys says that she doesn't have the magic to break free, and just tells Fleo to end her life. Fleo refuses to do it because he doesn't even like fighting in the first place. Fenrys is shocked when Fleo frees her, so Fenrys points out that she is a warrior of the demons who does battle with humans. Fleo explains that he doesn't care if someone is human or demon, Fleo just doesn't like eliminating someone who has already surrendered. Fenrys is shocked by his kindness, and Fenrys undoes her demon transformation to revert back into a human. Fleo offers to let her go, but Fleo wants her to promise that she won't hurt any more humans. Fleo checks his bottomless bag for some clothes for her, but her magic is depleted and Fenrys falls asleep. That night Fleo looks at all the different types of magic he has. Fleo thinks about how people disbelieve to hear that he can teleport, and Fleo wonders why he has such powerful magic. Fenrys wakes up and wonders how she could have lost, even though she is resistant to magic. Fenrys realizes that Fleo healed her while she was sleeping, and points out that other people would have eliminated her and skinned her. Fleo doesn't, so Fenrys promises never to fight humans ever again. Furthermore, Fleo demonstrates such immense power, so Fenrys has decided to acknowledge him as her master. Fenrys vows to dedicate her life to repay him, but Fleo says it's okay. Fenrys doesn't back down, and even offers to willingly be his slave. Fleo refuses to own any slaves. Fenrys determines that if she can't serve him, then there's nothing left to live for. Fleo stops her and gives in, allowing her to follow him. Later Fleo tells her everything about how he was summoned, and failed to be a hero candidate, because he had no skills. Fleo shows her what he really looks like, and explains that he doesn't know what to do next. Fleo is sure that she will regret following him, but Fenrys explains that her race lives solely for the one they recognize as their master, no matter who he is or where he is from. Fenrys swears to always be loyal to him. Fleo once again agrees to let her stay by his side, and she cannot be any happier. At the castle, the king is disappointed to hear that the blonde hero just let the troops he was in charge of get eliminated. But the hero blames the soldiers for panicking, and he explains that he did all he could to save them. He leaves, but another soldier tells the king that the blonde hero just sat behind the army the entire time. Then he ran away while everyone else fought, and he blamed everyone for losing. It looked pretty bad, so some of the troops started to dislike the blonde hero. When he is alone, the blonde hero is furious that none of his abilities have improved at all, even after an entire month of training. He can hold his own against weak monsters, but he is helpless against any monster with any kind of fighting ability. Just then the hero servant named Tsuya arrives to greet him. This guy is a real piece of trash, as he tells her to come with him, so he can indulge her in every luxury with the castle's money. The next day Fleo decides to go to the Adventurers Guild to make some money, but Fleo still can't get used to Fenrys calling him master. The shopkeeper mistakes them for a married couple, so Fleo thinks it might make it easier to travel together, without looking suspicious, if they act like they are a couple. Fenrys happily agrees to be his wife, since it's Lupin's dream to have a strong husband. Fleo tries to remind her that they will just be pretending, but it is too late as Fenrys is already calling him darling. At the Adventurers Guild, Fenrys gets her adventurous tag, having matching accessories with Fleo, which reminds Fenrys of something. Her race called Lupins perform a marriage ritual, in which a mated pair swallows the bones of a prey that they hunted together. Luckily for our boy, this thought is interrupted when the guild receptionist asks for Fenrys' name. Fenrys calls out to the woman, as she proudly prepares to say her real name, but Fleo interrupts her, and registers her under the name Reese. Afterwards, Fleo explains that he needs her to live as a human from now on, so she needs to get used to using fake names. Just then receptionist announced that the guild had an urgent quest to stop some psycho bears from entering the city. All the adventurers are terrified since the psycho bears are the ones who destroyed the hero's army. It's an emergency, so adventurers of any rank are eligible to take the job. To encourage someone to take it, the guild will pay out 10 times the normal amount per bear. The job is clearly very profitable, but Fleo doubts he can handle it. Rhys insists that he can, but Fleo points out that the real hero even failed to defeat them. Then Rhys comes up with an idea that she will defeat the psycho bears herself, and this will prove how strong Fleo is, since Fleo was the one who defeated her. Fleo teleports them to the forest where they will find the bears, and there's a vacant house there that the guild told them they can use as a base. Rhys is sure that she can handle the battle on her own, but Fleo refuses to let her. Besides that, Fleo also has some spells he wants to test, so Rhys is just glad that they will be together. Just then they hear screaming, and find the group of knights from before surrounded by psycho bears. Rhys remembers them well, and just wants to ignore the pathetic weaklings. The buff girl is in bad shape, but she still tries to fight. She only ends up in a bad spot, but luckily for the knights, the psycho bears are struck down by an attack. One dangerous bear remains, but it is defeated by Rhys. It was Fleo's idea to save them, so Rhys thinks that Fleo is just too nice. The knights are all grateful, and they explain that they were worried about what might have happened to Fleo. Fleo fears that they might find out Rhys's true identity, so Fleo just introduces her as his travel companion. Rhys wishes he would introduce her as his wife, but they are interrupted by another psycho bear. The bear goes right for Rhys, but Rhys knocks the bear out with just one terrifying glare. Rhys acts like she doesn't know what happened, and the bear nods its head when they assume that it has surrendered. They decide to take it as a pet, but this just shocks the knights since these psycho bears were ferocious enough to defeat the hero's army. Rhys says that's even more of a reason to take it as their pet, but Fleo likes the thought of keeping it from not hurting others. Fleo puts a collar on it that will prevent it from going wild, and he uses shapeshift on it to change it into something that doesn't stand out as much. They try to think of a name for it, but the knights can't believe how casually they just tamed such a ferocious beast. Afterwards, the knights thank Fleo for saving them yet again, and they introduce themselves. Aside from Balarasa, there is Blossom the heavy fighter, Bellana the witch, and the ex-farmer named Bilarai. The knights revealed that they wanted Fleo to teach them how to fight. The blonde hero was furious when his army failed him, so Hero declared that he would never lead another force against the demon army. The only way he would reconsider is if blonde hero found people he could trust to serve him. The blonde hero has locked himself in his room till this time comes, so the king issued an order to all the knights. They are to dedicate themselves to combat until they can eliminate monsters on the psycho bears level. The 4 of them can't even defeat one psycho bear together, so they need Fleo's help. Fleo thinks about how he doesn't even know how magic works at all, so there's no chance that he will be able to teach anyone. Rhys has her mind on something else though, as Rhys is super jealous of the girls trying to get close to Fleo. Fleo decides to tell them that Rhys is his wife, and he's just trying to live a quiet and peaceful life with her. The knights back off as they understand, but then Rhys is the one to suggest Fleo to help them. Rhys points out that as his wife, she knows him better than anyone, and Fleo is a kind man who can't abandon someone in need. Fleo knows that he can't really teach what he doesn't know, but Fleo can tell that they need his help. Fleo explains that he might not be a great teacher, but Fleo does agree to train them. The girls are overjoyed, but they have one more request. They need a place to stay, and would even be willing to pay rent for the corner of the living room. Rhys thinks it's a fantastic idea since there are plenty of rooms, and she and Fleo can share a bed, since they are married. Elsewhere, Yeliminas reported to the Demon Lord that the one who eliminated the demons and purified the Delavisa forest was not part of the kingdom of Clyrode. It was a lone individual. The Demon Lord is surprised to hear that one person has powerful enough magic to eliminate demons instantly. The Demon Lord has made his decision and instructs his subordinate to find and capture this individual at all costs. And that's where today's episode ends. Fleo believes he can finally live in peace, but far away, the Demon Lord has issued a command: capture him at all costs. Next time, Fleo faces a threat that even his overwhelming magic may not be able to stop. Before you go, friends, we started a membership program for true fans, where you'll get early access to videos, exclusive recaps, and shout-outs in our uploads. Check the link in the description if you'd like to join the family. If you enjoyed this recap, drop a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss what happens next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.